Hi everyone. So here we are now with the Gene Key 33. So from the Wisdom Keeper deck, this is 33, the gift of mindfulness, the shadow of forgetting, and the city of revelation. So the gift from the Wisdom Keeper, as read from the Wisdom Keeper deck, mindfulness is here to help you remember and to release you from the prison of your emotional life. Even if you want to speed up enlightenment, you can't. So give yourself plenty of permission to think, to feel, to desire, to react, to hide. Let nothing be forbidden. All you are asked is to be mindful of what you do. The first step in awakening is realizing that you've been asleep. So do not try to change your patterns or passions, just recognize them, thinking, there I go again. Catch yourself forgetting your true nature. Learn to feel increasingly comfortable with discomfort. In time, you will naturally come to realize that something more wondrous that you can imagine is looking through your eyes, thinking through your mind, and living through your actions. In the end, all of life shall remember itself through you, and all that you'll experience is the revelation of the eternal now. So, this shadow of forgetting, it's deeply rooted in ancient teachings, especially from the Vedas, which are teachers from the Vedic tradition, and they talked about this idea of karma that we bring in to, or that we create in our lives. So part of this thing of karma is this idea of a samskara. And a samskara is a memory. I also consider it like a thought pattern that we continue having throughout our lives. And these memories, these thought patterns, they create we forget who we truly are based on these memories that we have about ourselves. So what this means is that when we have these memories, so we experience something as a child, and then we have that memory of that as that we had from that experience as a child. And those memories that we have impact how we see ourselves, how we see the world, and how we see other people. And this means that we forget and can no longer see the truth about us, who we truly are, because we've had all of these experiences that then create these other beliefs about us, about the world, and about other people. And what we want to do is start to look at this illusion that we are creating for ourselves. So this isn't obviously a conscious thing that we do. This is just a part of the human condition. We make meaning out of all of our experiences, about how people respond to us, about how the world responds to us. And what we experience in the world and the beliefs that we have about ourselves, the world, and others, that all happened in relationship, that began in relationship with our primary caregivers. You have an experience that creates a wound. So I want you to think about that word wound. This is really cool. It's one of the reasons why I love Richard Rudd and his teachings and the Gene Keys, is that he really makes you start to contemplate and think about what our words mean, the stories that we tell ourselves, and it really empowers you to start to really look at what's going on in your own life. and what you believe. So look at this word wound. I have a wound, this wound, right, from childhood, a belief that I've made about myself and about the world. Wound is spelled W-O-U-N-D. In English, that also means wound, so you can pronounce it both ways with the same spelling. So what this means is that our wound is wound through our DNA. It has literally wrapped itself around our DNA so that we experience the world in that way. And this is what the Gene Keys is all about, is this evolution from our shadow into the gift through our DNA. So when we begin to look at our wounds and desire to change and create a desire to change them, we also have this tendency to want them to just be gone, to never exist again, to heal ourselves completely. And that probably will happen when you get to the siddhi, to the highest expression of this gene key. But where most probably anyone reading this or watching this video is that we're trying to access the gift. And the gift of 33 is mindfulness. So the first step of beginning to unwind these beliefs from our DNA is to create a mindful practice about what your beliefs might be. They are about looking within and going, what am I doing here? How is my past experience impacting what I'm seeing right now? Mindfulness is a practice about choosing to see something beyond what we normally see. It is when we allow our mind to get quiet, when we allow our mind to think beyond its normal thoughts, we welcome in a new experience of what is possible. So we get very stuck in this shadow of forgetting that what we're experiencing now is the truth. And what this gene key is teaching us is that it's not. That is part of the human condition, that we have an illusion about what our truth is, and that's because it's based on our past. So mindfulness is asking us to become curious about the wounds that we carry, and then look at how those wounds began in relationship and how they're continuing to play out in relationship. And when I say relationship, this doesn't just mean intimate relationship. This means the relationship with your friend, your mother, your father, the grocery store clerk, the relationship with the government when you're trying to submit your taxes, relationship with the world, others, and yourself. Okay? So, and the point of mindfulness is not to fix. The point of this mindfulness is to become that witness, to go, oh, here's my wound playing out again. Wow, that's what I do. Okay. And then when you begin to notice your wounds that are playing out, you create a little bit of space where you can choose something different for yourself, when you can maybe see something different. Oh, maybe the way that I am viewing my partner talking to me, maybe I'm seeing that through the lens of my past. Is it possible that maybe the way that they're talking to me is different than how I'm seeing it? So this is the practice of mindfulness, and your world will change. You will begin to see things very differently when you begin to look at what else could possibly be happening right now. I am seeing the world through the lenses of my past, and the beliefs and the wounds that are wound around my DNA, what else might be happening? So have fun with that one. Wishing you well.